the dog man. Willie the kid.
L.A.D.
Watch this.
They don't make them like this no more. I'm as real as they come, as fly as they say, as hot as they claim. Willie, man, I'm hotter than flame.
This production has been brought to you by the Free Lunch Podcast. Unauthorized use and or duplication of this material without express and written permission from the Free Lunch Podcast is strictly prohibited.
This show has been brought to you by the Thomas Allen Collection. The Thomas Allen Collection is a men's accessory line designed to attract and capture a variety of tastes with a unique appeal. Thomas Allen strives to produce an extraordinary design to turn a new leaf on fashion for men and at desired occasions. If I told you once, I told you several times on this podcast, ladies, get your men a Thomas Allen Collection tie. Gentlemen, get you a Thomas Allen Collection tie. You can't go wrong with rocking a Thomas Allen Collection tie at a formal event. BG, don't you own a Thomas Allen Collection tie?
Yes, sir. And they way fly than anything that's already out there. I got a couple of them, so I recommend going out there and getting some of that flavor.
Yep, Thomas Allen Collection. You can reach him at 678-960-9171. 678-960-9171. Thomas Allen, when time and not really counts. Now on to the show.
Yeah. So you gotta understand, brothers just see things different. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas got different perceptions. But the value is in focusing on yourself. That's what it's all about, though. See, I'm the type of nigga, like, I can have 5, my brother got 3. It's nothing for me to give him 1, so we'll both have 4. It's how much more. It's not a thing. Flight lands in my hometown, I'm older, wisdom, they say it makes you more effective indeed. In due time, everything will make sense to us all. Lime wedge in my ginger ale, making the call to fly. Wintertime in my nice car, I'm home for the holidays. Sipping Baileys, bad bitches from high school, reacquainted. Caught them on the rebound, fucking good at the Marriott, I'm downtown. Contemplating my next moves to move forward. Cause whether music or otherwise, I move toward it. Toward this print, time forwards, non-prescription. Can't listen to niggas, gotta know your limits. Perception, divine guidance, intuition, connection. I'm counting blood money, rap related. Happy New Year, popping champagne, I made it. I made it possible for brothers run from the dream. Believe bigger than the things we already seen. They say it's not about the goal, it's the in-between. The meantime, the ups and downs, if you can win, you can have it all. Some niggas chase dreams, some sit and complain. Some niggas chase hoes, some about they change. A nigga like me, what the fuck you figure? It's TCP, I'm a different type of nigga. Yeah, just a different type of nigga, man. Yeah, TCP, I'm a different type of nigga. Attitudes all contagious and niggas desperate.
Welcome to Free Lunch Podcast. This is your boy Tank, one half of the Free Lunch Podcast duo. I got the main man, B Jeezy with me. B Jeezy.
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
Ain't nothing going on, man. We in ATL, A3C conference. We chilling, man. We having a great experience, getting some exposure, meeting some good people, making that network grow, man. So I'm having a good time. What's going on with you, boy?
Man, we've been grinding.
Indeed.
You know we started the hashtag never not working.
Never not.
Man, that's real.
I feel like that. It's a haze. It's a haze, but it's a good haze. Getting this work in, man, and this is what it's all about.
It's definitely a good haze. Right now, we have an opportunity to record live from the Marriott Marquis.
Fancy.
We live in ATL. But man, enough about you and I.
For sure.
We got a special guest.
Very special.
We able to pull someone out, come out and participate in this whole experience that we've been having and really be able to dive deep into not only A3C, but also into just the Atlanta hip-hop scene, into his personal growth in hip-hop and the lessons that he's learned in his personal journey, mixtape, phenomenon, internationally known. Hopefully we can talk a little bit about that. But man, we got the boy, the homie, Willie the Kid. What's going on, Willie?
It's good. We in the presence of greatness right now.
So we're in your city. First, let me say thank you for coming out to participate in the podcast. For sure. But before we even jump into it, I heard you were a beer connoisseur. Can What type of beers you like to drink?
This time of year, it's fall time going into the winter. The stouts and the porters get popular around this time of year. So,
Are you making the beers at the crib?
nah, I ain't got that far. I got some homies that really be down with it. They really do that. It's like sweet potato joints coming right. Pumpkin joints. I mean, like they get busy. They get busy.
Is that how
I ain't tapped into it.
Is that how you got kind of into being a connoisseur because of them?
Yeah, just hanging out with my folks, hanging out with my homies, and they was doing what they was doing. You know what I mean? Like I'm into food heavy too. You know
I heard. That was the next question.
Yeah, I'm into
I heard
food.
you like to get down in the kitchen
I'm
too.
into food.
Chef Willie.
Yeah, try to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, it's all art. You know what I mean?
It
the more
is,
I started
for sure.
getting into it, the more I started reminding me of music. You know what I mean? Like it really reminded me of music. Like the same feeling I get when I put a record together, the same feeling I get when I put some food together. You know what I mean? Like go to the store, go shopping for different things. Same like picking beats and organizing sounds, organizing lyrics and stuff like that. Like the similarities, I was getting the same high from it. So I got into it a little bit more.
What's your go-to mix?
Go-to Italian food.
For sure.
Pasta. Anything like any lasagna, anything based with pasta.
That's me with it, that lasagna, boy. I put that lasagna, throw in a couple of different types of meats in that thing. Use those fresh vegetables for sure. Yeah.
Seafood, you know what I mean? That's all day.
That's what's up, man. When I was doing a little research, doing my homework.
Yeah.
You know, I got a little intel. I say, man, I'm definitely starting to show off with him being a beer connoisseur because you don't even hear a lot of people talk about
It's leisure.
that.
It's leisure. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing it for the attention. This is what we usually do. You know what I mean? We go to different beer festivals, stuff like that. I'm meeting with the people who actually own certain beer companies. Shout out to my homeboy El Sharpton. Like, he's like the guy that really got me into it. You know what I mean? Like, that's my man. We put it together. I'm sitting with the guys, the founders of Terrapin and Sweetwater and these different companies, craft beer companies, we're sitting down having leisure conversations with them. So the drop that I got on is different than the average.
Let me put you on one bill. So I'm in DC and I live in Alexandria. Alexandria has a new beer that they put out. They actually have a brewery down there, and it actually won National Small Beer of the Year, what have you, called the Port City, man. So check it out when you get a chance. We wanted to learn a little bit more about you, and then we also wanted to talk to a cat that's actually participated in A3C. BG and I had the opportunity today to really participate in A3C, man, and for me, man, it's legit. It's genuine, it's authentic, it's organic. We had an opportunity to talk face to face with Combat Jack, Premier P, Rosenberg,
Side Sound,
Combat Jim. Man, we was face to face with these individuals. So if you in hip hop, if you love hip hop, if you're in podcasting, if you're in marketing or anything associated with that, man, A3C is definitely something that I would recommend. But with you being a historian, per se, you actually participate in this event. Can you kind of talk about it from a behind the scenes perspective?
Yeah.
And even your participation over the years?
For sure. The first time I did A3C, it was at the Masquerade, which is like the Midtown area, and everything was there. So like the hotels, the venues, the whole Edgewood, the vibe, the energy that's like in the street.
Right.
And when you out here for A3C, it was all contained in one venue. So imagine that.
Yeah.
Was it as authentic, as genuine as it is today, or was it more commercial and hard to get to the
real raw.
It's always been real because, like you said, it's a leisure opportunity, right? You can go to a venue and go see a DJ spin. You standing right next to another artist right there. You know what I mean? And y'all can talk.
Head Crack, shout out to Head Crack.
Yeah,
He
you know.
had the opportunity to chop it up with him as well.
That type of thing. I think they lay out a platform, they lay out a red carpet. And Atlanta's a beautiful city. You know what I mean? A lot of different things going on here, especially when it comes to art, entertainment. So for it to be a hip hop thing, laying out the red carpet for everybody to come and enjoy like a family reunion, or like a big networking opportunity right here in Atlanta. So it always been there.
But it was interesting because, I just mentioned Head Crack. And he was out there with the mixtape, handing it out for the Bodega Boy.
Right.
And I'm looking at this guy like, man, he's on the radio Monday through Friday, syndicated, but he's out there working hard.
That's what I'm saying. Opportunity to get the Willie grind. Like they put everybody together in one space and go ahead and do your thing.
It is, but we had opportunity. A few weeks ago, we both attended CBC, Congressional Black Caucus, in D.C. It's a A3C, but more on a legislative perspective. So, BG, just from your experience, your perspective, how would you compare the two events?
It really, I mean, in format, that they're comparable in terms of having the different sessions and workshops focusing on different things, but by far, A3C is more of a thing, I think, with people that actually come and participate, the common person, the person that's hungry, trying to make their way in whatever facet within the game, get more out of it. You know what I mean? Because you see people that are in the position, you know, we saw Shanti Doss, like you say, Combat Jack. You see all these people that are on the platform that have, I guess, quote unquote, made it, but they're out there with the people. They're willing to talk. They're giving their information away. Do you have your card? They're taking in all this type of stuff. So they're really, and then in the sessions, they're dropping jewels and they're coming from a real, genuine place. And I think that you get more out of it in terms of being able to take that stuff and apply it to your own hustle versus them coming and using it as an opportunity to boost their brand. You know, they laid back, they're not dressed up, they're just right there. And so in terms of experiences, this is really one of those experiences for me that's really down home, sincere, and it motivates you more. It gives you that fuel to say that it's regular, real human beings that are doing these things. We see them as superstars, but they're real people. So that makes space for you.
I want to ask one more question on A3C. How many times have you performed at A3C? What was that experience like yourself?
I performed A3C about 3 or 4 times. One thing I can't say is I performed when it was all at the Masquerade, and I performed when they started spreading it out too. So both opportunities was dope. What I liked about the Masquerade was that everything was under like one roof, like 6 or 7 different stages there. Wow. So you can see somebody performing outside, one of your homies, and you go inside and see somebody else performing inside. Right there. You go upstairs and you might perform upstairs. You know what I mean?
So you even became a fan.
Right. Of course, because there's certain artists that I respect and appreciate. It dope to be able to see them right before I did my show, right after my show. So after I get done, I didn't even gotta leave. I can just chill, you know what I mean, and watch one of my homies do his show, you know. So that was dope. And then I performed a couple times. I performed once on Edgewood. I performed another time on Spring Street. I think the name of the venue right there. But right there by North Ave. This was like 2 years ago, I think it was. And that was from a homie of mine that was doing some promotions and getting a couple of venues for ABC and all that. That was a Michigan artist conference. So it was myself, John Connor, Aftermath. And it was cool. It was cool.
Let's jump right into your story, man. You're from Michigan.
What part of Michigan you from? Y'all shout that out, bro.
Yeah, West Michigan.
You see it on the hat.
Yeah, I had to pull that one out.
It's the line too, GRUSA. It's a clothing line that we starting to promote awareness and promote unity back home too. So we'll see more about this later. But right now, go to shop GRUSA.com. That's SHOPGRUSA.com. Got some hats, got some shirts, hoodies, and scullies coming for the wintertime. All fly material.
Talk about your experience back in Grand Rapids. Set the scene that'll get us to you leaving Grand Rapids and coming to the ATL.
For sure.
And kind of just shape. Like, where did you grow up in Grand Rapids? How was the area accepted?
For sure. Well, Grand Rapids is it's the second largest city in Michigan. Detroit is the largest. Grand Rapids is a place where, like for urban people, it's not a whole lot of opportunity there. Especially when I was coming up, a lot more things going on now. But just recently, in the Forbes magazine, Grand Rapids was listed as the #1 worst city for African American economic growth. Number one in the nation.
Was it like that when you was growing up as well?
In some ways. But what happened was, the auto industry, automotive industry, that's like the backbone, like the sole income for a lot of different businesses, a lot of different hard-working people there to stay from Detroit to all the way to Lansing, Grand Rapids, so on and so forth. Every city in some way is supported by General Motors in some way. So when the economy shifted, and General Motors had filed for bankruptcy and got the bailout for for the White House and all that, the impact is rippled throughout the whole state. So there's a lot of hardship for a lot of people. That's one thing about when everything is based on one sort of economy. When that industry goes left or whatever, everybody has to feel it. You know what I mean? So growing up, man, the economy for the automotive industry wasn't bad as it is the last couple of years ago, but it still was a lot disenfranchised. You know what I mean?
Were your parents in the automotive industry?
My father worked briefly in it, you know what I mean? Briefly, and he was doing some other things and everything, but like my mom, she wasn't, but a lot of my friends' parents were. And they worked like night shift jobs at a factory, putting screws and putting car parts stuff together, painting different car parts, stuff like that. A lot of my friends after high school, if they weren't in the street, then they probably get a job at a factory or whatever, working for automotive industry. Everybody we knew was related to it in some kind of way or another. But for me, you see, my mother, my father, my older brother, LAD, shout out to a lot of dog man. They always said, "Yo, you're gonna be like the golden child, the prodigy. We're not gonna bring you up to go work in the factory. No disrespect to nobody that's doing that, because that fed a lot of families and provided for a lot of people. I'm not fronting on that at all, but they always say, "Yo, we like they designed me to do something else." So at a young age, I was always dreaming beyond my area. See, when we grew up at, it was the hood, like it was real things going on. Like, a lot of my friends was getting involved in a lot of different things in the street. You know what I'm saying? Like brothers, bringing drugs around you, brothers bringing guns around you, brothers involved in violent crimes, brothers, stealing, robbing. It was real for me in my neighborhood. But the people who I respect, people that I looked up to, they never brought me to that. They always said, that ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take a different route.
But so you said that they saw you as the golden child. What was it, or what was the protection, or what were you doing? Was it because you were just the youngest? Was it because you were this A student in school? Was it because they saw you rapping at that young age? What was it?
Everything you said, you know what I mean? Like when you see something valuable, the best thing to do is protect it, right? So you put your money in the safe, right? Mm-hmm. So you put your money in places where it's safe. They looked at me as value, you know what I'm saying? Like I guess it's the talent. I used to draw, I used to rap, I used to write stories, I used to make music.
And what age? When you used to get started?
Long got to remember.
Really?
Long got to remember. You know what I'm saying? One day, I don't know, I might go to my mom's crib or something, and I'll load up some of the old VHS tapes for home videos or something. I'll put Instagram or something. I'll show you. I've been rapping for,
What was it that got you to that place? What inspired you at such a young age? I heard you say a name, kind of threw it in there, but your brother.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to LAD. But before my brother, my father, he was big on music. I guess he was a DJ informally, you know what I mean? He had turntables and records and crates and DJ weddings and parties, and he was doing stuff. He was real good. He would do he would take vinyl, records on hot, EPMD, LL Cool J, and put it on cassette tape. Because back then, nobody in our neighborhood even knew, they even wanted to listen to music in their car. We had a Cadillac, this system, boom, 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 brother have a other kind of car, boom, boom, with the system. They wanted to bang some EPMD or some Public Enemy or some LL, but everybody had vinyl, everybody had records. Right. And my dad was one of the first people in our neighborhood that would take the vinyl and put them on cassette. So it'd be EPMD on one side, LL on the other side. Like the mixtape, I guess, right? And it'd be stuff like, I'm about to leave, when such come by and give them this tape, and leave them thing, and I put it in before they come and listen to it. Before they come pick it up, I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? This it felt good, I can relate to that. Or we'd be in the car and they'd put on some music, I'm like, yo, what is this? So it just, for me, it just struck a note. It was it was electric. But I was a fan. I was young, I was a fan. I wanted to just be a fan of the culture. When my brother Live formed his company and formed the Legion of Wu-Tang, and he got his deal, put his album out. That's when I said, okay, we can do
this for real.
It's gonna work. We can do it.
What year? Do you know what year that was?
It was like 98. He dropped his album in 98. But he got the deal. We started working with him like 96. I was younger then, but that was what let me know, wow, I don't got a dream no more. Because again, going back to you saying about Grand Rapids, there wasn't a lot of opportunity for young black people, especially not to become a rapper. Like, it still ain't no opportunity to become a rapper.
So the music scene wasn't really any kind
real.
of rap?
The energy was real, like it is today. The culture is real, like it is today. The talent is real,
Okay.
like it is today. The outlets.
But you know what though, but BG, even today, when we was at the conference today, Combat Jack mentioned something about how, and even when we did the interview yesterday, you know, they talked about how when that one person that was in that circle, and it was actually Shy that said A3C, so you know how they were just saying, how they were just basically give you a quick update. They was talking about how in Queens, so many hip hop artists came from Queens, and it was like when that one person made it, everybody thought big of it. Like, hey, I got that same opportunity, and now I can do the same thing. And what I'm hearing is that right around that 1996 time frame, 96, 98 time frame, that same kind of sense of you can do this kind of came over you as well.
For sure. Like, I mean, I was always inspired to do it. Like, I was always writing raps. Like, I have like notebooks like this full of raps. And I put my clothes on the floor. I fold my clothes up, put them on the floor. My drawers would be full of raps, full of notebooks, full of loose paper. My mom came in like, yo, put the clothes on the floor. And I was like, well, I'm gonna put them. You got rhymes all in these drawers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
were you rhyming in like talent shows? And,
yeah, of course. Like at school and all that.
Was it connecting with the people, or was it before your time?
Way before my time, but it was connecting with the people. You know what I'm saying? Both. So
They saw it.
yeah,
So
absolutely. Like when I was coming up, like battling was like that was the only way. So when you at school, lunchroom table, that's all day. Recess, that's all day. You know what I mean? That this thing, like by the time I got to like high school, it's called the transit center. The downtown where all of the buses were linked for the whole city to take everybody else to everywhere. I guess like a centralized zone where all of the city buses went through. Mm-hmm. And me and my man Sonny, we were he went to one school to a different school, but we would link up at the transit center after school every day, and then just battle everybody from every school. You know what I'm saying? And battle against everybody from every school.
That's right.
So if you're doing your thing at the transit center, it's getting back to every neighborhood, every school. It's like where you go to like the crossroads for everybody right there. You know what I'm saying? And then like the basketball tournaments downtown, it's called the Dust Knocker. Everybody be down there for the basketball tournaments.
you was in the battle.
But I was like this, that's little. It's like scrolling. It's like, you know, it's like everybody. I think they can rap this good. Everybody
Making a name for
making a name for themselves. And I was like the youngest, littlest guy there. You know what I mean? But they, I mean, you know, unless they just delusional and don't want to give it up, they'll tell you. Always put it in. Always do it.
What kind of student?
In school?
Yeah.
High school. Like I always knew. That's what I was gonna get to when we were talking about Grand Rapids. I always knew I had to find a way to get out of it. Not to just the city, but I had to find a way to reach beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like my family's from New York, so we be in New York several times a year. You know what I mean? I be buying sneakers for school, coming back with different sneakers that they don't even get in Grand Rapids. Like, where you get them at? You know what I mean? Like, or while we go down to Tennessee for the summer and hang out with my aunt, and then they got Master P and Hot Boys and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Bringing this back home. Like, yo, check this out. You know what I mean? When No Limit was just popping up, I'm like, yo, listen to this. I was one of the first guys in my neighborhood that was, you know, promoting a lot of the southern music. So I'm getting access to different things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you putting them on.
Putting them on. And I even like down south with the girls with the southern twang accents. I used to be like, man, I could go back home. Yo, that girl down south, I'm telling you. Like, I had a whole nother view about what was going on. And I would always share that with my neighborhood, with my friends, and everybody around me. So just sitting in Grand Rapids, you know, doing my thing in the neighborhood, I was always just dreaming, man. I was always thinking about, man, after I get out of high school, what I'm going to do. How I'm going to, you know, excel it. So I'm going to either go to law school or I'm going to be a rapper. I'm going to figure this out. You know what I mean? But I got to leave here to do it. And I always knew that. I got to leave my city and then bring all of the value back to the city. You know what I'm saying? Help people in the community and inspire people who I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And come back home and rep for the town everywhere else I go. We done been to Japan, we done been to Dubai, we done been to Switzerland, we done been to UK, we done been to this whole Scandinavia, we done been everywhere. And everywhere I go, I'm repping. You know what I mean? Like right now, I'm repping.
Yep.
Stay on your cool shit. Yeah. Fuck is this shit, right? Mind on the figures and your fingers. Yeah. Gon' rule USA.
Fly 3, nigga. TCP, nigga. Check me out. I rock the D-hat like Doughboy did. I'm splitting bitches splendid. Spending dollars at the Spinnaker. Apple cider vinegar, you can't convince me. The scent indicated indica. King senses. Silk scarf came from India. I'd rather fuck a Jocelyn than I ring India. I'm superficial. Sue me. Play the ocean like George Clooney. Casino, clams casino. I see C notes, vanilla notes in my Chardonnay. My naysayers, they saying never why they favorite rappers do the nay-nay. My neighborhood, the wire, cause every name and ain't no eBay. Every bitch ain't bae neither. They know my name, that name is nigga ringing at Nordstrom's. I'm pulling foursomes, 3 whores at 4 seasons. Pour some Riesling, put your arm in a sling. My nigga sling dope. Fuck per diem, you see him. Japanese denim. I'm never living, I'ma live it, but love it, believe it. I need Bellinis and Belize. Cheese blinks, bulletproof beamers, bullet shells, fingerprintless. One blink, then it's complete blackness. Apprentice, the crown prince, TCP is penicillin. Bitches peel their clothes off, you niggas falling off. I'm sleep though where I come from. I stay on that cold shit. The OGs told me, watch who you roll with. Watch them niggas. Watch them bitches, keep your mind on the figures and your finger on the trigger. You know where I come from, I stay on that cold shit. The OGs told me, watch who you roll with. Watch them niggas, watch them bitches, keep your mind on the figures and your finger on the trigger.
So I want to get into those trips that you just mentioned, but before we even get into that, you was battling, you was getting the name locally out, but then you graduate high school and you end up coming to Atlanta first?
Now through all of that, you gotta understand, like my brother Lie, like even before the situation with Wu-Tang and the deal and all that, he was a real popular guy in the city, in the town. So you wasn't gonna miss me because I'm his little brother. So he would take me around all the time and say like, yo, this is my little brother Willie. You go to the city, you smell at a 4.0. You know what I mean? I'd be fresher than the grown niggas. Like, yo, this little guy's fresh. You rap too, like, yeah, all right. So I made a name just for coming up under my brother, you know what I mean? And when he left and when he did this thing outside the city, it was like, yo, I know y'all gonna do it big. I know it's coming soon, you know what I mean? One thing I knew, I couldn't wait on my connection with my brother to find my way. I had to do it myself too, you know what I'm saying? I had to make my own way too. So I was always, when he was going doing his thing, I was I'm gonna start burning my end of the stick too. So we can meet somewhere in the middle. That's exactly what happened too. And fast 4 years later, that's exactly what happened. Well, I knew I couldn't sit back idle and wait. I had to wait.
You wanted to put in the work yourself.
Right.
So you kept on grinding.
That's right.
And just so, because you mentioned this, because we haven't even come to Atlanta yet.
Right.
Because when you connected with Drama and Gangsta Grit, that was in Atlanta, correct?
For sure. That's when my brother was telling me I was too little, right? He was going out to LA working with RZA and Method Man and all these people, Mobb Deep in New York and all that. I was going like, yo, you gonna fly me out there? Like, nah, I'm finished school. You know what I'm saying? You too young, you too little. Like, yo, I ain't finna be sitting at home waiting to grow up. I'm gonna start grinding. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that. I started being real serious about my music and real focused on what I'm gonna do next. And that's how I ended up working with Drama.
But even before that, so just talk to, like, we still talking high school days. What type of, you say you was battling, you was writing, how much time were you actually putting into perfecting your craft? I mean, just to give people a, I meet guys and I like for artists and guests to tell their story, like how much work did it actually take for you to get to a point where you felt like now you, like, I'm just saying hours from like writing, like how much time were you doing?
Whether it was a hobby or something that I got paid to do at one point, something that took me around the world at one point, or something I just did when I had some downtime, I'm always doing it, man. I was always, you can ask my friends, like one of my men, A1, shout out to A1, we was little. It's probably like junior high school. We hung out all the time, we never came to my house before. And the first time he came to my house, let's check it out. First time he came to my crib, he was in my room. He was looking like this. He said, bruh, you really are a rapper. I said, what you mean, brother? He said, I don't see one poster of Michael Jordan. I don't see no Pistons.
Bad boys,
I don't see no
bad boys.
Detroit Lions. I just see cutouts from the Source magazine, cutouts from Double XL magazine, the Nas and Jay-Z and Biggie, and had every Wu-Tang poster I ever printed on my wall. You know what I mean? I had it right on the inches on my wall. My mom and they moved it to the other side. You can't see it when my door is open, but the whole wall over my bed, man. I mean, I would buy albums. I would just put CDs. I would tear the cover off and put them on the wall. I'll buy 2 copies of the Source magazine. You know what I'm saying? One so I can tear out, one I can preserve. Double XL, tear. If I see Jay on the cover, I see Jay-Z, bam, on the wall. I had like a mural on my whole wall in my room. It was clear what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. He was young, but he was like 14. He was like, yo, I see what you want to do. You know what I mean? So like I said, for me, I breathed it, I lived it. That was all I was about. We would sit and brothers be talking, and we be talking about hip hop, and they be saying this and that. I'm hitting the facts. Why? Because I got the Source magazine every month ready cover to cover. So I can tell you about what's really going on with that. Man. You know my man was like, how do you know all this, bro? You gotta read, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. So hip hop was definitely life for you.
For sure.
Do you remember getting the call or finding out that your brother was linking up with the Wu-Tang Clan? Explain that feeling.
I remember that like yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like I was at my grandmother's house. We was outside, like I don't know, playing football or something, hanging out outside. She come and say, hey, get on the phone. This is before cell phone. Like, hey, get on the phone. So I come in and holler at the phone. Yo, it's my brother. Like, yo, what up, man? Like, what up? Yo, it's on, bro. It's on. What you mean it's on? Like, yo, man, I'm telling you. I was telling you about him and this man. It was grounded in Nashville. We met some of the management from Wu-Tang. They started a label called For Real Records. He was telling me he was going to really put it together for the record label. And that was a conversation we had months ago. This conversation this time is like, yo, it's on. I'm in the studio with Raekwon right now. You know what I'm saying? And here, brothers, I got them brothers on my wall in my room. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with Ray right now. Oh, for sure. Ray get around. Ray always. Man, shout out to Ray, man, the big homie. Ray get around. But he was like, yo, I'm with Raekwon right now. He did a record called As the World Turns. It's one of the very first promo records that my brother came with when he first started putting his company together. And that conversation right there, I was like, word, it's on. You can't tell me nothing now. You know what I mean? Like, I know I had to carry my weight, though. Once again, I never slacked off, yo. I never sat back and waited on him to do nothing for me. You know, that was never the mission.
He never put you on any of this stuff?
Yeah, of course. Not back then.
No, I'm talking about back then.
Nah, I was too little. I was young, man. I was young. He didn't look at me as a rapper. He looked at me as a little boy. You don't go to school, you don't do well. You know what I'm saying? That's why today we got, come on, man. I don't like to talk like it, but today we got houses and foreign cars, and we've been around the world, and we didn't did it based upon the blueprint that we laid back then. You know what I'm saying? I ain't bragging on nothing. You know what I'm saying? We done made money, we get money, we done bought, we done spent, we done, you know what I mean? We done did it. We done been here, been there, we done did it, man. We done did it. Off of the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Especially coming from where we coming from. It ain't that easy. Right. I don't know too many who did it like we did it out of music from our city. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather, he did it better than everybody. But that's another level though. That's another lane. You know what I'm saying? That's another lane. But through the music, which is like the mud. You say get it out the mud, it's the mud back home. That's why I salute all my guys back home that's still doing their thing and trying to get it up out the mud back there because it ain't easy.
So let's fast forward. You come up here and go to school, got accepted to Clark, Atlanta. Can you kind of talk about that experience, transitioning from Grand Rapids to the South, to Atlanta, and kind of talk about the scene back there in that time?
See, again, growing up in Grand Rapids, like, we was in New York all the time because of my family. We was in Tennessee because of my family. Even out in California because of my family. So I probably have more access to outside of my city than a lot of people had when they first got to college. I seen a lot of people go to culture shock. You know what I'm saying? I seen it.
How did you even hear about Clark, Atlanta coming from Grand Rapids?
Goes back to music again. When the Wu-Tang, it's like 96, 97 or whatever, when we were, they was making clothes. They opened up a store right there on Peachtree next to Gladys and Ron's Chicken, Gladys and Ron's right now. But that's to be a club right on the same corner, right across the parking lot, right there, the same side of the street. That club, it's been 100 clubs since then. But before it was clubs, it was a we wear clothing store. and my brother came here to help them promote and market the store. So he was coming back home with PC, give me a hat, give me a t-shirt. I'm like, got a store in Atlanta, the Wu-Tang store. I'm like, oh. I know they had one in Staten Island. I went out there, I went to the store and all that, took pictures in front of the store, but I didn't know they had one in Atlanta. He was like, yo, minus the store though, Atlanta, man, it's a good place. Like, when you finish up, yo, I got middle school in, when you finish up everything, I probably was leaving out of elementary school going to middle school. This is how far back it goes. She's like, yo, by the time you finish middle school, high school, you think about going to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? That was like 10 years prior to me graduating.
He was already planting the seed.
Yeah, that was like 10 years before I even got out of high school. I've been thinking about Atlanta the whole time. You know what I'm saying? That was from him. But me, I wanted to go back. I wanted to go to New York. You know what I'm saying? I know I was going to do music. I wanted to be close to where everything was.
To the birthplace?
Yeah, to the money. More so than the birthplace. I was thinking business. That's all. We used to buy the CDs on the back. All of the addresses for the
New York, New York.
All say New York, New York. I knew that when I was 11 years old, 12 years old. You know, Def Jam, looking at the back of the CD, says New York, New York. That's what I see. I could write down the address. I had a notebook just full of label addresses. Mailing off my tapes, mailing off pictures, mailing off. I was doing that when I was like 11, 12
Man, where you get that from? The wherewithal, the awareness to start doing it like that at a young age.
Bruh, I used to be in my room, me and my men, and we would take the CDs and put them on the back and write down the address. Only a couple was in LA, but all of them was in New York. So I knew that's where the money was at. So we'd take our picture, go to the disposable camera, go get it developed, put our tape, CD or whatever, put it in the envelope and mail it to the address on the back of the CD. I'm pretty sure they would get tons and tons and tons of mail, but we know we in Grand Rapids, man. Ain't no labels in our city. They're not signing no artists where we from. Ain't no checks being cut. Ain't no way to get on MTV or BET, you know, right here in Grand Rapids. But we do know we can look on the back of these CDs, and the addresses are all on the packaging.
That's official hustle right there.
But you didn't end up in New York. You ended up in Atlanta.
Because of school. Because of school. HBCU. That whole idea of coming and going to a historically black college was.
You wanted that experience.
Eventually. Like at first, I didn't. I was going to go to New York and do music and get an NYU, be a lawyer or something like that. I was thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? But talking to my brother, then, you know, different world with Wayne and all that.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it had me thinking. And then we going down to Tennessee, hanging out. I like the South. I like the waves of the girls down south always. I was like, oh, I gotta get down south. But then my brother was like, yo, you know, you go to Atlanta ain't traditional South. Atlanta, you're going to find a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be just, you know, it's going to be everything when you get there. It's going to be close to get to New York down south. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, ooh, all right, that sounds dope. You know what I mean? So he was like, yo, check out a couple schools down there. So we came down and we visited a lot of schools. Man. We visited Jackson out in Mississippi, TSU in Nashville, FAMU in Tallahassee. We checked out Howard, checked out Hampton. And then the last school we stopped at was in Atlanta, at Clark, and I just loved the vibe. The first day I stepped out the car and looked out, I loved it. You know what I mean?
You knew that this was where you were going to be.
It wasn't even nothing to talk about. Once I visited, I said, yeah, this one's good.
Start off in Clark. Did you get introduced to DJ Drama while you that first study in Atlanta?
Yeah. When I got here, one thing I knew I was going to do was do my music, man. And I mean that. Like, I was serious about that. I was serious about that. And at that time, you know, it was when T.I. and Luda and all that stuff was when Atlanta was really breaking Jeezy. Atlanta was really, you know what I mean, the BMF one was out here. Atlanta was on fire. It was explosive. You know what I mean? It was a really good time to be in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And
this is about 2000, 2001, 2002.
A little bit like, I think 2003, 2004, something like that. It was like really explosive out here. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna find my way with this music thing out here. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So go to class, do the regular good student thing, but when I'm done with that, I'm trying to get to music. So in my dorm, in the building I stayed in, there was a brother that stayed a couple of doors down from me. This is before school, so that's when I first got to it. It's like August, before class even started coming. Like, he was banging music in the room all the time, but it wasn't like industry music, it was original music. You know what I'm saying? Stuff I never heard before. I know it's some beats and all that. So one time I knocked on the door, what up, man? What up? So I'm really kid, man, from Michigan, you know what I mean? What's up, man? make beats or something, what? You know what I mean? He's like, nah, I got some equipment. This is my cousin's equipment, you know what I mean? I was like, cool, you know what I mean? Let's get picked up. He's like, yo, whatever, let me know, man. I'll come back tonight. So I'll go in his room every night, and we used to be back and over beats and stuff. And then my building started hearing this in my building. So everybody who thought they could rap or wanted to rap would come to that room.
You created it, that
Right.
spot again.
That spot is created it again. It's energy, man. One thing I know, you can't kill energy, man.
It's never lost no
If
stroke.
if people never
It's
lost
only
in the story,
transformed from
that's
one
it.
entity to the
That's
next.
it. So if you got it, you always got it. You know what I'm saying? If you create it again. And I can bear witness to that. Everywhere I go, everything happens the same way every time. I track the same type of progression every time. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, and I saw from the Lord. I showed that to God. There's a God. So we in the room, jam. Everybody coming by, everybody rap.
This like every night.
Every night almost, man, for about a week. Only a short week. He was like, one night he was like, yo, man, this is my cousin equipment. His name is Don Cameron. He a DJ, he produce, you know, this is what he do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just holding it for him till we get back from Philly. Because it was summer break for Don, so he left his equipment in Atlanta. His cousin was holding it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, when he come back, I want you to meet him, man. You dope. Everybody coming by here, man. You the best one in the doing, man. When he come back, man, I want you to meet him. He gonna love your shit, man. He gonna love it. I was like, yeah, all right, cool. So the next week or so, classes started. He came in my room one night, boom, 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 like in haste. Yo, he's here. Come on, man, come on. I'm like, all right, come on, let's go down there. So I go down there. I got on like some ball shorts, so I'm like, I'm looking crazy. It's like late at night. Like, what up?
Did you know did you know who this person was? I mean, like, did you really understand the magnitude?
And this is what people got to understand about Willie the Kid, man. Like, when I met Drama, when I met Don, whole Phillies, all that, it wasn't what it is today, or what it became. These guys are guys just like me. From up north, down south in Atlanta, trying to find their way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so all y'all was just
all of us was hustling. All of us was tough.
Right.
I didn't come after the money and the fame and all that. I was there before that. You know what I mean? I was there with the chip in on a pizza. You know what I'm saying? I was there doing those.
So you were nervous going down to the room.
I didn't know this brother. He didn't have no name. I thought I was the man, right?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I just know he had something that I needed. He make beats, so I know I needed to get some beats. I didn't go down there to form a long-lasting relationship. I went down there to network and politics, get some beats. I'm talking about the rap. We can make some music together. We can get on together. He didn't have a name. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody knew who I was. I said, we're going to grind together, make a name in Atlanta together. That's exactly what he did. You know what I'm saying? So when I went down there, he was like, yo, my cousin said, you dope. Let me hear you. You know what I'm saying? You want some beats? I'm rapping. He raps all night in the room, all night. He was real. Like, Don's cool today, like they was the same kind of cool back then. He didn't really say too much. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what's up. All right, see you in a minute. I'm like, all right, cool. So I leave. See him out on the campus and everything. He's like, yo, come here. I'm a little guy now. I was really little then, right? You know what I'm saying? These guys tall, all his friends tall, these brothers, they from D.C. and they from New York and they from Philly, all these places. Like, yo, what up? Oh, this little homie right here, he spit, he nice. You know what I'm saying? They kind of remind me of being back to Grand Rapids all over again. You know what I mean?
You were prepared for that moment, right?
You was prepared.
I used to be in the mall like with my brother or my cousin or my mom.
See, let me stop you right there for a minute. So for our podcast, BG and I, we do things. We got a series that we did called Live Your Truth, and during that series, we talked about a very popular biblical story, David and Goliath. But what a lot of people don't know and a lot of people don't realize is that David actually, if you go back and read the scripture, he actually had killed lions and bears to save his sheep before he actually fought the lion.
Exactly.
Point being is that what a lot of people have failed to do, and what I'm hearing in your story, is that life has a way to prepare you for that moment.
Absolutely.
Life has a way to prepare you for that moment. But what you have to do is embrace life. You have to be able to go back and understand that, man, life is giving me all these skills and giving me all these tools, skill set to prepare me. And once you grasp that understanding, when you're faced with that moment, you're prepared.
Exactly.
And what I'm hearing is, like you talked about earlier in Grand Rapids, and how you were going to the high school games or going to this transit, I forget what you call it.
Yeah.
So the moment that you was in front of whomever,
That wasn't no thing.
it wasn't no thing.
No, this what I
so I
do.
ain't want to interrupt
Yeah,
you,
no,
man.
sure,
But
that's what I do.
I just like to take that moment,
For
especially
sure.
for our listeners
Absolutely.
that have followed us from day one, or
Absolutely.
people that are listening to us for the first time. One of my favorite books is The Alchemist.
Mm.
Love The Alchemist.
Young man talking about that book the other day.
Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
If you haven't read it, definitely go read it.
For sure.
But it dropped jewels. And so I just said
About
all
your
that
journey.
to say,
About
oh,
things you picked up
yeah.
on your journey. I know
About
exactly
picking up on your journey, man. But I didn't mean to interrupt you,
No
man.
problem.
You can kind of pick up from where
But
you
yeah,
left off.
so that's how it was for us. And again, recreating energy. Like that's how I be when I was young. I'd be in the mall and people would stop me like, yo, excuse me, I'm here to love y'all, but you the little dude that be rapping? These brothers from our neighborhood, like, you know what I mean? Like, these the dope boy niggas with money, got jewelry and all that, all sneakers and all that. I'm looking up to them because they like, yo, this is before everybody wanted to rap.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
This is like when I was like elementary school, middle school. Back then, if you was playing ball, you played ball. If you was in the street, everybody didn't want to rap. They were just amazed to see somebody little like me, sharp, bright, that could rap. So they were like, yo, spit that line you spit. So I'm rapping in the mall back then, the same thing, kind of like what Don was doing on the campus.
But even talk about it, so when he called you over,
yeah,
you know, Don called you over.
Yeah, this
so,
the homie, he be rapping, you know what I'm saying? We about to make some heat. I'm like, y'all, all right, dope, you know what I'm saying? Like, cool, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm gonna get with you though, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get with you. So I just focused on, I was doing still right, still doing my thing. And then one day they hit me up like, yo, I got settled in this place and set up equipment and everything. Yo, come by, man. And he worked with a group that he produced for. Some other, my man Tone and them. Shout out to them, they're from the Jews. And they lived together at their apartment and they made music and like 3-4 rappers would come in and out of there. And he was like, yo, I want you to come by so we can start working. So I was going by jumping on their records, doing a couple of records on the side. I think that was like the first semester of school. Then like the Christmas when the break was coming, he said, when you get back, you're going to be your album. Yeah. So by then we doing shows, we doing open houses, battling.
This your first year?
First year at Clark. People come through like I think Raymond came, Wu-Tang came, they had like some open mic thing. I rocked at that, and then they had like African American wearing this gay thing. I rocked at that. Everything that was coming through, I was rocking. Then industry little bits, I'm rocking, trying to get my name out there. And then we came back from the winter break, and we started really working on the music. Every once in a while, every day or so, other guy would come out. Everybody's other guy. It's my man Drama, man. You know what I'm saying? I want you to meet him, man. He sell mixtapes. He about to do his thing too. He DJing the parties. You know, that's what John had, like dreads. He had a Montero, he had crates in the trunk. He was like a real head. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he was DJing for like Hannah D or somebody like that. Slum Village or somebody. Right. He was like he was really doing it for real. Like me and Don was like stuck on the campus trying to get off the campus. Drama had already graduated and kind of made a name in the city on the underground level. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Biggest Records too. Everybody was doing their thing. But he would come in just like OG Don. He'd come like, yo, I got an event at Club Comedy. Want to come through? And he'd take Don and Don open up for him and they'd be hanging out. And I'd go sometimes and carry the crates and, you know what I mean, hang out. We'd be just kicking it, you know what I'm saying? But Drama like this big homie. I didn't really talk to Drama like that. I was Don man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was Don homie. So Don made sure the way Drama pulled Don pulled me. You know what I'm saying? So every time Drama had something going, he'd come pick up Don. Don said, come on, Willie, grab me. So we do Drama Don. And then my man Sense, of course. Sense and Drama lived together. So we go to Drama House, Sense did. You know what I mean? I always like Sense style because he was like a smooth, cool type of cat, reminded me of myself. So we always would kick it. And Drama's just grinding. In the room, the Sense would be in his room grinding. They lived at like a duplex. Drama lived on one side, Sense lived on the other side. They both had turntables set up. They both had, studio setups. They both were doing mixtapes. They both were doing clubs. And they worked with Mars and Trauma. Shout out to Mars and Trauma, Super Friends. And Super Friends was like the it. You know what I'm saying? They were on the radio. They had all the clubs, everything. I think that year, All-Star Weekend was in Atlanta or something like that. And absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy, man. I got year 50 Cent like broke and everything. It was like the energy was ridiculous. And like Mars and Trauma pulled Drum pulled Cannon pulled me. You know what I'm saying? And we all just chill out Drum and play me, Drum, Sense, and Cannon. Yo, we gonna really do this. You know what I'm saying? We gonna really do this. So Sense was the man because he was working on the radio. He worked at 179. He worked with Trauma, and he was the man for that. He had access to the mainstream in Atlanta that I definitely didn't have access to.
Right.
And Don didn't have access to neither. They had a I don't want to say this incorrectly, but it was some event going on, a birthday bash or something going on where they gave Sense and Drama tables to sell their mixtapes. And at the very last minute, brothers came up with a Southern influence mixtape that took the format of like a top 10 cool tape with all Southern artists.
Yeah.
That was very first.
That was the very first day.
Fire after that.
This is back in what, 2001?
4, 5, I don't know.
2004.
Yeah, I don't know. Quote me on the year.
Right. I know.
I had just got here. I'm like this. Everything's going like fast. So drum.
And you own the Gangsta Grill.
Not on them. Not on them first ones. That's when Drum and Sense was just drum.
But you saw him. You kind of saw him.
You saw the birthday.
Yeah, man. I was like, by the time I got the Gangsta Grill, like 5, 6 or whatever, I'm in there with them putting the CDs together. We in drum crib like this with the spindles, like put them together. By the time I got that far, I'm like, bro, you really doing it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, then brothers got the Super Friends officially, and everybody got Super Friends jackets and all that, and it was a wave. And the whole time, my man Cannon was like, yo, this is my artist, what are the kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna do this PJ thing with these mixtapes, with these clubs, we're gonna do this politicking and networking with these labels. But the whole thing was to go do some music for me and Ken. At the end of the day, we're gonna make some music. So we probably on like second EP, third mixtape by then. But again, we were on campus. We just were little guys. So the people that I was close to us knew what we was doing. And shout out to Mars, Trauma, the whole Super Friends. They always supported me, man. They always was like, yo, that's Cannon homeboy. He cool with me too. Always gave me a chance. Shout out to Biddy. Whole Cloud9, everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that was really putting it down in Atlanta did. A lot of brothers still here today doing their thing, but they always embrace me. Always support
So even before you on the Gangsta Grill, you putting out work.
Yeah,
You had stuff circulating.
I never was not working. Y'all say always never not working?
Never not working.
I've been working.
Not working.
I've been working since middle school, man. Like taking it seriously, you know what I mean? As much as my ability, you know.
So let me ask you a question there. Because all of this is going on, and then, I mean, keep me honest, but then you transfer to Howard. You know, all of this is going on that first year. It seems like you finally connected with some people that's making some things happen. What happened, or why did you decide to go to Howard?
All about the money, you know what I'm saying? Like this like first semester. I had met Don, we started working, we started getting some things together. But I was like, yo, I'm trying to go to school for free. I'm not paying for free. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? And Clark, you know, and shout out to all my youngsters coming out of high school. Stay on your grind. Whether it's basketball, band, or group grades, or whatever you got to do. You know what I'm saying? They'll pay for you to go to school if you can add some value to the educational environment.
That's a very good point.
That's a fact. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, your parents, you don't put your parents in debt, put yourself in no kind of debt. If you got any kind of talent or skill, it's for my young folks. Man. Even if it's just going to school every day getting A's, that will send you to school for free. Mm-hmm. Just that. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention you play basketball, football, something, you play band, you got something going on. But I knew I wasn't gonna pay for school. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting no debt and all that. I ain't taking loans. I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Not me. So Clark they wouldn't honor. I was in the honors program at seventh grade. They wouldn't honor my scholarship. So I'm about to really got to leave this out of here. You know what I'm saying? Go somewhere else. But at the same time, my thing was down. We had just met and we just were talking and we were doing music, but we wasn't like getting to it yet. So this is probably like right at the end of the first semester, probably like October, November, something like that. I had applied to Howard. I wanted to go to law school too. And Clark didn't have a good law program. You know what I'm saying? But Howard had an outstanding program. So I said, I'm gonna go to Howard. I just applied, just wild. You just being silly, just seeing what had happened. And when I applied, one of the people called me one day, one of the guys from the honor program, he was like, oh my God, we'd love to have you, we'll pay for this and pay for that, pay, and I'm like, word? So I hit up my folks like, yo, this almost free education. Man, you better go do that. You know what I'm saying? So
you just left all of the what you was building.
Let me be clear. It wasn't even built. Like, we wasn't that deep into it yet. Actually.
Also, okay, so this now
had just met Don. That was it.
Okay, so
we hang out a couple times. But it wasn't like that.
So the stuff that you was talking about earlier.
That happened.
That happened when you came back.
When I came back.
Okay.
That happened when that happened when I came back.
Okay.
This, I had just got there and things was like coming along, but we wasn't knee deep in.
Did you stay? So you definitely stayed in contact with Don.
Absolutely. I was in Atlanta every weekend. That's back when you jump on the air train, what they called it.
Yeah.
You be on standby. You just go to the airport and it's a seat for you. You got a college ID there to get on the plane. It was like $50. I was coming to Atlanta every weekend. We still was recording music. We still was getting busy. You know what I'm saying?
Were you making connections in the DC?
Absolutely. DC, Maryland. One of my main men from Grand Rapids, my man Jonas. He had went to Copper State in Maryland at the same time. So me and him would get together. We would run through Maryland, run through DC, Virginia, get on the train, go to New York. You know, we was doing that grind the whole time I was there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking that the whole time, this is like starting over again because I just started some shit down in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, we'd go down to Atlanta, go, Will, what up, man? Where you been? I'm like, yo, I'm in DC right now. I'm like, man, you in Florida? Come on, man. Like, I was getting kind of, you know, people like, yo, you gonna leave it? Like, come on, man. Like, and then down, every day down, like, yo, man, you got the wrong time, man. It's starting to pick up,
he was
man.
still down grinding.
Oh, yeah, of course. He like, yo, man, we doing this, we doing that. I'm in DC kind of sick, like, damn. You know what I mean? But it's like, fuck, you know, like, what you here for? Like, you there to go to school, you there to be a rapper. What did you leave to go do? So I'm gonna do this music, man. You know what I'm saying? So I called back to Clark, got back down, like, yo, y'all gotta do some money, man. You know what I mean? You see, I left y'all. You know what I mean? I gotta do what I gotta do. Y'all need to pay me to come down here. So one of the advisors I had, he got really close with, one of my advisors at the school. She got me to come back down. They paid for full ride off the academics. You know what I'm saying? So that's my little endorsement for education. They say stay in school. Shit sound cliche, but I'm telling you, if you apply yourself, it's crazy. Had it not been the way I took my education serious, I wouldn't be able to come back to Atlanta.
Or make the connections that you kind of made because it kind of jumped off on that campus.
Right.
So let's just fast forward. You talked about y'all. You was in the apartment with Drum and Don, and y'all putting the Gangsta Grill. Let's talk about when you actually got into going overseas, doing big shows, doing live shows.
For sure.
And just when you really looked at it like, I made it. You know, can you kind of talk about that kind of?
For sure. They well, everything we do with the Super Friends is a DJ collective. So we had all of the parties, all of the major clubs out here. Everything was cracked. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, since Cannon and Drum broke off from that collective and formed their own thing, and that was the affiliates. Shout out to Ace McCloud. You know what I'm saying? That was an opportunity for us to sort of fine-tune everything that we've been doing over the years as far as the mixtapes, the clubs, and of course the music. The Gangsta Grills brand that Drummer Father was now huge. It was national. You know what I'm saying? And we started really working more so on getting us a record label out of this situation. There's only so much money we can get from clubs and parties. We can go tap into the music. So by this time, Drummer created an avenue for all upcoming South artists to get a break. So all of the labels started coming to Drum as the go-to guy. Like, you know who's coming next out of the South. You know who's the hottest. You know. So by then we got tapes from Big Boy and Lil Wayne and all these names. And he's DJing for T.I. on the road, Drum is, and he's DJing for this one. And now since working with Killer Mike, and he's DJing with Cheesy, and Cannon working with Scrappy, and it was serious. The only step to do next was to create a record label. You know what I'm saying? So to my brother Lyle, I'm like, yo, we got this DJ thing cracking off. You want to break it over to more so the record label side. He had experience with it because, like I said, did it since '96. He's been working with RZA and all these names on the record label side. So he came in to help Sense on the management side of to get the record label thing. So by then, I'm on like the second or third major mixtape and calling for me now. yo, who's that guy y'all with? We heard him on, because what they would do is they'd put me on their mixtapes.
Right.
Like Canada throw me in here, throw me in there, Drama throw me in there, and people hearing me, like, who is that guy? Man, he's dope, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with him? So then I started to call. So we started taking meetings, you know what I'm saying? They started offering. And when my brother Locke came, he said, don't go get an artist deal, make them give the affiliate a label input. And give us a deal for our company. Don't go be an artist at Atlantic or go be an artist at Interscope. Go get a deal for the company. And then we can break off, and Drama can put an album out, and Candy can do a producer album, and we can go with a kid album, and we can go on as our own brand, not as an artist. We signed directly to a label. Around that time, Drama had signed to Grand Hustle as an artist, you know what I'm saying? And that was we were learning a lot about that process and how that works, as opposed to going to get your own situation and then doing what you want to do. And that's eventually what we did with Asylum. So Asylum was an incubator label under Warner, Atlantic, and under the same umbrella. And they really wanted to do business with Drama for the gangster thing, making more of an in-house, kind of what he's doing today. Right. On the A&R side, making them an in-house, staff member so they can funnel everything through the brand. Right. They thinking, everybody's thinking, that's the way it goes. And shout out to them. But we were trying to get something in exchange for that kind of thing. We're not going to give you our man, y'all don't give us nothing in return. It's not enough to pay him to work for us. That's not enough. You know what I'm saying? You got to give us some liberty. We can go do what we want to do. We want to be in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So Asylum came along, and I signed with them. I signed with Asylum. This around the time when Shorty Loadham had it on Smash, D4L had it on Smash. You know what I'm saying? Killing it. Boostin' was over there. Bun B was over there. I think Jim Jones was over there. But as far as like the South, hands down, like all eyes on what Asylum was doing with Boosie and Webby and Shorty Low and D4L, that was crack. So I was over there, but the whole time I'm there, I'm looking at Lupe and Leonard, which was like upstairs in the next one, and everywhere you go in the building was Lupe. I'm trying to tell brothers like, yo, Lou was from Chicago, I'm from Michigan, it's pretty much the same area. The music he's making, it sounds like the music I want to make, but they like, yo, this is Asylum. We specialize in creating a certain type of sound, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm going to go against the grain and make what I want to make anyway, which I can't say it wasn't a good idea, but I'm thinking beyond what was right in front of me. I'm thinking, you make it, they'll come. I don't have to change up what I'm doing to conform with the system. But at some point you do, you know what I'm saying? It's this artist versus business thing that every artist is going to go through. It's a dynamic. Being true to your art or being true to your paper, being true to the business. Understanding the machine and working accordingly based upon what the machine is. But sometimes you go through that thing. Neither here nor there through all of that. I'm having the time of my life, man. You know what I'm saying? We on MTV, we on BET, touring, traveling, putting out mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing shows. It's crazy. We have a good old time. Mixtapes.
Doing what you love, doing what you envision as a young kid.
Doing what I built myself to do all of this time. From writing raps in my bedroom to battling at the park, you know what I'm saying? To taking the trips from DC to Maryland and going to hip hop clubs with my boy, you know what I'm saying? For me and Don, record like Drake said on the record where he has that, we recorded in the bathroom. Love that line. You know what I'm saying? We had the booth in the bathroom with a church sock on the mic. I mean, all these things, man. Like, where your ass was at? Today, we looking at it now, we have to be doing it. You know what I'm saying? But all of the good times and all the money and everything, the mixtape thing started to get really big. And that's when the feds came. You know what I'm saying? That's when the feds came. Kicked down the door, took Drama to jail, took Kennedy to jail, tried to say racketeering and copyright infringement, you know what I mean? The IRA, kicked it up a couple notches. And from that, my brother Lob basically had an idea to turn that into like a Scarface thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Right. Not in a negative sense, but we're not going to let them lock us up and knock us for carrying on the culture and the tradition, and we go and quit what we're doing. We're going to face the music. Like Drama say, take the fall for hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? And I think after that, that's when everything went on. That's when we became like...
Lot of dog man. Willie the Kid.
L.A.D.
Watch this.
Nigga, I got it, got what you need. That coke, that heroin, that speed, that mid, them purple trees. Frontin' a nigga bleed, I'm good at them evil deeds. It's normal for me, homie, get the cheese like macaroni. Pimpin' like Pretty Tony, famous but you don't know me, young and remember that. War like a Republican, smooth as a Democrat. Pull a rabbit out my hat like a magician dressed in black. Really a killer dressed in black, killing for them paper stacks. Ever since I sold crack, bitch rules like Ebenezer. Police give me amnesia, nigga, I know the procedure. I'm sick, no anesthesia can cure what's in my jeans. Fuck a stash box, nigga, my pistol is in my jeans. I'm a fiend for the flow, I'm a fiend for the dough, I'm a fiend for the feel of me squeezing that calico. AMG, pay attention, embassy, niggas listen. I cost the Mason Dixon just to keep me out of prison, motherfucker. Violate me and you will get popped, get popped. Two-stepping with my hand on my lock. Hey, violate me and you will get popped, get popped. Two-stepping with my hand on my lock. Hey, violate me and you will get popped, get popped. Two-stepping with my hand on my lock. Hey, violate me and you will get popped, get popped. Two-stepping with my hand on my lock. Hey,
They don't make them like this no more. I'm as real as they come, as fly as they say, as hot as they claim. Willie, man, I'm hotter than flames, flyer than planes. I gotta explain, I'm tired of lanes. I'm tired of.
That's when we became globally known. Like, they knew affiliates after that. Gangsta Girls, Drama, Cannon, Willie Kid. They knew us after that. Like that. After that, hands down. Hands down. So that's when they start opening up the budget for the albums, and that's when it started getting stupid, right? So we started putting Drama album together, put my album together, we dropped the albums, we did well, we did the tour. Man, radio shows, 684.5 had picked up for the chicks watching radio, Gangsta Girls Radio here on 107.9. Man, the rest is history, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I see you over there looking. What you say?
Well, I mean, just to see it all come to fruition, man. Like, you know, we always talk about, you know, dreaming and living outside of the box and doing the thing that speaks to your heart and then speaking stuff into existence. And, you know, Willie's story is really that, man. Like, even from a young age, he kind of had in his mind where he envisioned himself to be. And it was all points go. But then by pursuing that and going down that road, then you start meeting these people that kind of had that same vision, and then you start linking together, and the universe starts working together. So, you know, it's just interesting to see, you know, a young man, you know, doing that, and then coming from a place of appreciating it, and then you appreciate it, and then you be more apt to kind of let that live through the music, and you can actually hear it in the music, and that's an authentic place, and I think people really, at the end of the day, appreciate that sincerity and the person that spits something that you can relate to and can be better about.
What's the relationship like now with you guys and Drama?
They're my homies, man. They're my brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's good that everybody found what they need to focus on to move themselves, you know, further professionally and personally. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much grind independent. I do my own thing. Yeah, I do my own thing independent, and we put out signed a deal with P-Vine Records several years ago in Japan. I've been putting out records over there in Japan the last 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? And then we still do the independent thing here on iTunes and whatnot. Mixtapes, of course, we still doing those. Started my own production company for films. We're doing movies now. We're doing music videos. You go on YouTube, you see all the stuff out there. Really big on my channel. This past January, almost a year ago, we put out a project called The Fly 3. And with that came my first film. It's called The Fly. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kevin Brzezinski, the man Scott Erickson up in Grand Rapids. And it's a 45-minute film that I wrote and I co-produced when I started. You know what I'm saying? So I think right now, man, I'm doing what I feel I need to do for me. Cannon, Drum, and everybody online doing what we got to do for them. It's a good thing because if I see them today, I talk to them today, it's all love, man. And I appreciate the relationship more than anything. Man.
Talk about your experiences and what you learned from traveling on the city. Because we kind of haven't really touched on that piece. But what were those experiences like, and especially coming from Grand Rapids, and then being able to like travel to these other places? What has that done for you personally?
Let me know it's a small world, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me know that hip hop connects everything and make everything so much smaller than you might think. You know what I'm saying? It's a universal language, man. You know what I'm saying? The hip hop connects everybody, man. The music, the culture connects everybody and it connects everything.
They jamming in Japan?
Jamming in Japan, bro. I'm coming out of Japan, out the club, 8 in the morning. Yo, people going to work, coming out the club, hip hop clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, bro, it's daylight when I'm coming out of there, off hip hop. I did one show out there, like 20,000 people. You can't even see. It's like black. And you can't even see your hand in front of you. Like, music, boom, 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 like it's just loud. They're like all for the hip hop, all for the culture.
How did they get hip to a Willie the Kid in a place like
the internet? The internet. I seen that with Soulja Boy years ago, right? He got on from his bedroom, doing stuff on the computer, his little YouTube videos, stuff like that, the internet. Now it's even more ill because it's the social apps, right? There's people that's famous for nothing.
For sure.
Not to diss nobody, but people know you. You have no talent, no ability to do anything. I'm not dissing nobody, I'll be quickly clear. I'm not fronting on nobody. But people are famous just from their living rooms, holding the phone in their hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you say, how do people know about people? The internet, man, social media, right? Blog sites, stuff like that. It connects everybody. You don't got to go to the store to buy it to hear it. You be in bed, like halfway sleeping, and go through somebody's Instagram page, and you can know everything about that person. You know what I'm saying? They got it now where it's so lovely. We got SoundCloud, Bandcamp, iTunes. You never got to leave your bedroom to create music and put it out for the whole world to hear it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard. Once again, through the internet, through hip hop as the vessel, it's a small world, man.
Going back to your origins of hip hop to where hip hop is today. How do you feel about the hip hop that today?
I think it's alive. It's alive and well. It's wild. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. It's untamed today. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, it was more tame because everybody had to sign to a label. Then the label determines when you're going to put your album on. The label determines what you're going to wear, where you're going to go, and what your schedule is going to be like, how much of the money they're going to put behind it. And, you know, there's only a few people that was doing it themselves, like from the Jay-Z's to the Diddy's to the Master P's to the Babies to the, you know what I'm saying, Tony Drapers and the Jay Princes. You know what I'm saying? There's only a few people that was like E40 now, like sick with it. You know, only a few. A very small percent of the artists were funding and marketing and working and hiring and going through the ropes themselves. The majority of the business are all under labels. The labels is controlling it. It's damn near the opposite today. Most of your favorite artists are out here on their own dollar, on their own time. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, you know what I mean? And very few are signed to a label, moving at the pace of the label. 360 deals and inclusion deals and shit like that. Like it got the game the complete opposite of what it used to be. Now people taking matters into their own hands, controlling their own destiny. You know what I'm saying? So today the game is more wild, it's more alive. You know what I'm saying? Standards is like almost not even there anymore.
They don't exist.
And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying that in a liberated way. People are free to do or say whatever they want. Like once upon a time. This what gets really like ironic that once upon a time it was like standards. You had to sound like this or sound like that in order to be accepted. And the other people weren't sounding like that. They're like, oh, it's cool, but you know, like PM Dawn wouldn't be at a show with Wu-Tang, or you know, you wouldn't see Arrested Development with you know, Ball and G. You wouldn't see that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really like that. But today, it's like an open market where you got all different kinds of sound. They say trap music, they say boom bap, but they trying to create genres out of the culture now. But every other genre has that. It's contemporary rock, and then there's slow rock, and then there's classical rock. Right, but hip hop is probably the youngest of the genres. Right. So we're just maturing to the point where we can start subsetting, diversifying. Because, you know, back in the day, if you didn't sound like this, they booing you off the stage. You know what I'm saying? You see what Dre said at the Source. The South got something to say. He had to stand up and be revolutionary to support the South like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, today it ain't like that. Everybody know everybody's welcome now. The South, the West, the Midwest, East, everybody's welcome. And we all blending and merging together. So it's different. But then, another part of that is weird because people are starting to make all the music sound the same sometimes, right? You gotta sound like this and sound like this. It's kind of going back to that. But I think that's like, it's unintelligent because it's so free today. Today you ain't gotta do that, man. You don't gotta make your song sound like his song. You don't gotta get this person on your hook. You don't gotta get with this producer. You don't gotta do that because the culture accepts everything.
I
Don't
think
be afraid to be free. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
and I think that certain artists understand that, but then I also believe like when some of the corporate input.
Oh yeah.
When you talk about the major labels, when you talk about radio and all that type of stuff, in terms of
I ain't go there. That's another beast.
How it gets to the masses, and so you're getting this image of the music has to sound like this to be, on that stage, and it kind of creates this illusion that takes away from the essence of what it is. Be yourself and be creative.
Man, like they came and freed the slaves, and the slaves didn't know they was free.
For sure.
You don't even know you free, man. You don't got to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do that, you got to work hard. And I think that's what creates the issue for some artists.
Yeah.
Because when you're on the label, they doing everything. They doing a lot of heavy lifting for you. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people don't have the work ethic, or maybe don't have the funding, or maybe the whatever. It's something that they don't have, so they have to just submit themselves
to the label.
And what made you the creativity, just having that freedom to do what you want?
I'm an artist, man. I'm an artist. You know what I'm saying? And I've done a really good job of being observant and balancing the difference between doing business and doing art. You know what I'm saying? I've seen both sides to the extreme. You know what I'm saying? As I grew older in the business, and got a little wiser, started to get my own footing, my own thing. You know what I'm saying? My own support, my own way that I know I want to do my thing. Independent was the only way for me to do it how I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got to do it this way in order for it to come out the way it's coming out. You know what I'm saying? I can do compromise, but I can't do restriction. You know what I'm saying? Not very well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do the whole thing where you can't make what you want to make. You can't earn what you want to earn. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneurship, man. That's the only way to go.
What would you leave as we wrap up the show? What would you want a young artist coming up, or a young person that just in general that wants to get into this game? What would you tell them? Or what words of advice would you give them?
I've seen a lot of artists that were here before I got here, and came when I came, and some stayed and some left while I was still. I've seen a lot of stories. In the business. And one thing I want to just really encourage, especially my young people, man, I want to get into the business, man. Just take care of your regular life, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get caught up in offspring. Don't get caught up in social media and what you see another person do and the opportunity you think is there. Don't let that stuff take you away from what's real. You know what I'm saying? Don't become a handle. Social media. Don't become a hashtag. You know what I'm saying? Every day, take a second or two and just step back and look in the mirror and look at yourself. Remember your family, remember your morals, remember where you came from, remember the people that's watching you, people that's looking up to you, people that's depending on you, whether it's your kids or your parents or whoever it is. Don't get detached from reality, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's so easy to do. You know what I'm saying? I see brothers go to their grandmother's house for jewelry, you know, something like, yo, grandma. I mean, leave that shit in the industry, man. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you know? Like your children shouldn't be calling you by your rapper name. You know what I'm saying? They should be saying dad, man. You know what I'm saying? Or mommy, or whatever. And I'm being extreme when I'm saying these things, but the game, man, the culture is so lonely, man. It pulls you. It's overwhelming. I understand it. But what I seen, man, a grave mistake is stepping both of your feet out of reality, jumping full-fledged into the business, and losing grip on reality. That is a hazard. That is a hazard. That I would recommend people to never do. I can go back home now, post up anywhere with my friends and have a beer and just chill out anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere. I would see my grandmother, she's proud of me. She know what I do. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we're talking about.
I don't have to, I'm not detached from reality. I do everyday things every day. And right after that, I'm gonna catch a flight and get some money as a rapper. Right after. You know what I'm saying? I don't lose that. You know what I'm saying?
You able to leave Willie the Kid or Willie the Kid, but when you step the kid, your walls, you can
For sure. You seen me in DC, right? On another note. It had nothing to do with nothing. I wasn't there like that. You know what I'm saying?
We was out
on
there at
something
the garden,
else.
on some
Yeah,
other
on
stuff.
something else. And I take pride in that. Because you know, at the end of the day, man, ain't no pensions in rap. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no retirement plans in rap. You got to figure something out that you can evolve and develop and create for yourself that may run parallel to rap and not be all just rap. You can't be a rapper all forever and all the time. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta be able to step away and just go vacate with the family and just, you know, and be regular sometimes. And just be cool sometimes. And appreciate, watch the news and read to your children and do regular things and then still jump up right after that and go and turn up. You know what I'm saying? And go do your rap thing. You know, and I think some people, they lose footing with reality. So when the rap go, they go crazy as a matter of fact, right?
BG,
That's tough. What's up, bro?
what you think?
It would be only right if we talk a little bit about the music. We gotta take a little bit about the music. The Fly 3, man.
Yeah, the Fly
Let's
3.
take Fly 3.
Different type of Willie, though.
That was having fun.
It's a different Willie.
Yeah, I was having fun. I was having fun, but we put out projects like if you go
But even from the evolution, though, I'm just saying.
oh yeah,
The evolution.
oh yeah,
If you go
man.
back and listen to
Oh man,
to what you was putting out on Gangsta Career,
for sure.
to where you at now,
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
there's been a transformation
Absolutely.
in what you rapping about.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
even talk about that evolution.
Absolutely. The Fly 2. The subtitle of the Fly 2 is called The Transformation. You know what I'm saying? It was at that point that I really started realizing, hey, there's no lid on what you can do. You know what I'm saying? You can create whatever sound you want to create and make it your own. Now, the funny thing is, when you say Gangsta Grill's time and that was a transformation in itself. Because before Gangsta Grill's, the music I was making sounds like what it sounds like today.
Really?
It was almost a 360. I came back home. Like, if you go back and listen to The Day the Game Changed, Dead Presidents, Divide and Conquer, certain projects like that, not to mention tons and tons of music me and Don King did that the world never heard when we was young.
Right.
All that music sounds like the music I'm making today. One thing about Don, he always said, like when Gangsta Grill stuff was popping off and the labels came, we started getting these big budgets and deals, he always told me, man, don't lose the music that you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what this artist is doing, what that artist is doing, and how they sign an artist based on certain sounds, that's cool, but don't lose what you do. So today you listen to Masterpiece Theater with me and Alchemist. You listen to Somewhere with me and Ab Joe. You listen to Aquamarine. You listen to The Fly 3. You listen to The Crates. You listen to The Cure. All these projects, it's like you going back home. And that sound, like somebody said, oh, you changed up your style. Nah, bro, I just returned. I returned. Just going back to my roots, the second coming. You know what I'm saying?
What's your favorite on the Fly 3?
On the Fly 3, I like Need and I like different type of nigga. They're my two favorites. They're my two favorites. You know what I'm saying? Like see the other records on there. I'm going far. I'm going here. I'm going there. I'm going there. But Need and Different Type were two records that are like personal.
I said, I need a chick in a nice dress, a dress code. I need champagne, ice cold. I need change so I can tip the valet. Need to change my ways. Ways heavy on my mind. I mean, at times I stray. Straight minutes, counting minutes in my new Mercedes. Count basic numbers. I need my wholesome lady. Lately, I need to stop and start thinking my bad. Putting thoughts in the cab, sipping cab, laughing. Came by the condo, kinda high, hit the high note. Sneaks across a card note, the cardinal. Cardboard color horse, hopping out the Hyundai. It's all good like the schools out where I stay. I need stability, cognac and Cuban stogies. No diamonds in my rollie, I'm dining. Executive chefs, after hour conversations. Nice view, private menu, the fly plating, delicious. Bad bitches looking like delicious. Need to make it for my niggas, these Michigan trenches. Peace and prosperity, the diamonds and gold. I want it all without selling my soul.
Baby, let me give you something real. I just need something I can feel. I'll be there for you day to day. My kind of love won't fade away. I just need something I can feel.
I said, I need guns like I'm paranoid. I need comfort. I need peace and quiet. I need my family.
You know what I'm saying? They were personal. I like them because they're personal. And I talk about real things. I'm telling a real story. You know what I mean? On both of those records. And we did them organic. I did both of those records in Grand Rapids. My man Mosaic, he's a producer out of Grand Rapids. And
well, you did that at England.
yeah, those two records for sure. So it's all organic. It's a real story. Flight lands in my hometown. I'm older, wisdom. It said makes you more effective indeed. In due time, everything that makes sense to is all. A lime wedge in my ginger ale taking the call. Like that really happened. I was talking about something that I really was going through, going back home for the holidays and all that stuff.
What put me on Willie the Kid? I had a mutual friend of mine. Actually, he moved to D.C. after graduating from the same college. And he said he was listening to the Gangsta Grill stuff when he was on that mixtape. He's like, man, it's this kid, Willie the Kid. He's dope. I bust out laughing.
Yeah, right.
And
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
man, I know this kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
sure.
I didn't know you, but I knew you.
For sure.
And it was at that moment when I
went back like, hold
on, let me
came
see
across
what
your path 2 times. Like, yeah, hold on.
Like, let me go back, man.
Yeah,
and that's
for
when
sure.
I actually started going back and listening to your stuff.
For sure.
And I was like, yes.
My brother.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
like real talk.
Yeah, that's real.
That's real.
You see what I'm saying? That's an organic process.
It was an organic
I prefer it like that. Every time 2 different people came in and said something about me, oh, I gotta check them out now. That's how
it's real.
That's how.
And he was up with DJ. Go ahead.
That's, I mean, just saying, the Fly 3, man, got tough tunes on there. It's jamming. And, I mean, it from start to finish. Like, I rolled to it, and it's kind of nostalgic. It give you that 90s feel, which we like to call, like, kind of the golden era of hip-hop. But it's time.
Progressive.
Yeah, it's progressive.
Yeah,
it's time relevant, man, and it's something that you can really hear that soul and that spirit coming out in the music. Do you feel like, as an artist, that you have like a responsibility with your lyrics, with your delivery to the people that's going to be listening to your music? Do you think about that?
That's one of the driving forces behind why I do what I do and how I do it. I know there's some people who come to get a certain sound. They come to get a certain level of caution and carefulness and care. Certain people come for that. There's some people that come to turn up. They don't really care what you're saying. You just got to feel good. And I appreciate that too. You know what I mean? I'm in my car, but I listen to Future, man, all the time.
Me too.
All the time. I listen to Future and Max B all the time just for the energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming to get educated. I ain't coming to say the whales. I ain't coming to, I just want to turn up. I just want to feel that energy. But then there's another part of me who just want to just really hear some substance sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
You know, like it's just
straight up.
Sometimes you want to hear something different. Sometimes you want a different part of your soul to be catered to from a music perspective. And I know there's people out there, because I sit with my friends, guys who are even older than me. I sat with my brother friends on the porch maybe a couple months ago. I was back home hanging out, shooting some videos. And my man was like, yo, bro, I don't listen to hip-hop no more, man. Everybody that come out, they ain't speaking to me. You know what I'm saying? I got my own business. I got kids. I got a mortgage, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a band. I'm a businessman. I don't want to hear that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, it's a whole subset of people who ain't even getting catered to. So they can't get into turning up. And they don't want to turn up, right? They want to turn up their businesses. They want to turn up their business model. They want to turn up their new franchise. You know what I'm saying? They got a different drive. I think a lot of artists, they're not taking that responsibility. They just want you to get high and party and get drunk and turn up. And that's cool, because we all do it too. I turn up too. But I think there's a whole list of fans who want to just hear something make them go, all right, when they grind on the way to a meeting, or grinding on the way to go build something. You know what I'm saying? Going through a life issue and wondering how I can get around it. You know what I'm saying?
You think you looking at it now, because I'm listening to you, you feel like you're in a different place than where you were years ago?
Hell yeah, man. I grew up, man. I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot, man. I first got here, I just wide eyed. I was happy to be here. I was trying to show everybody I was the best rapper. That was just the objective. I'm going to kill every verse. I'm going to kill every song. And that's it. I don't want nothing else, you know what I'm saying? But after you start accumulating a certain amount of money, and you start accumulating certain kind of responsibilities, and you start seeing the game from a business perspective, you gotta respond. You gotta adjust. You know what I'm saying? You gotta adjust. You gotta respond.
Is it true that you just got a master's?
Yes, sir. Quietly. I'm not on Instagram with it. I ain't on Twitter with it. I just, got an MBA.
I bring that to the
got an MBA because me and my partner started some businesses back home, and I wanted that validation. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be just a rapper who's throwing his money around. You know what I'm saying? I really went through the course to qualify myself to, to earn these positions and these opportunities.
But I wanted to bring that up, and you kept saying lawyer. A lot of people realized that you had aspirations of high learning, and you stuck to your guns, and you went back and got your MBA.
For sure.
And I wasn't going to let you leave without even put that on the podcast. So that listeners will know that, hey, you got that back.
For sure. I had to, because like I said, I didn't want it to be some rapper.
And you weren't going to mention it if I didn't bring it up.
Because that ain't what I do. I didn't do that to go brag about it. That's not why I did that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do that to boast about it. I just did that because I know I got some future business ventures I'm getting off into, and the kind of people who we're going to be dealing with, I need them to know I'm just not some ignorant rapper throwing his fame and his money around. That's not what it is. I qualify myself. I deserve it, and I credibility. I earn value.
And to be able to understand that lingo when you come into the meeting, you understand the principles and all that type of stuff.
For sure.
Willie, man, appreciate you coming out.
Absolutely, man.
I really do. Because I don't think the people realize what it took for us to make this happen.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, we've been down here grinding since we touched down. Literally, since we touched down in Atlanta. Wow. And I know, I reached out to you late in the game, and you was more than willing to come out here and just share your story,
I appreciate it, man. I'm always down.
And I really appreciate you just being open to this opportunity, getting on our show, and being able to tell your story. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Man, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it. I'm always down to build.
Let the Free Lunch fam and listeners know how they can get that fly free. And you talked about
GRUSA, absolutely.
I mean,
for sure. You can check me out on Twitter, the Willie the Kid, TheWillie TheKid. Same handle for Instagram, the Willie the Kid. iTunes, all the projects is up. You can catch me. Masterpiece Theater, Living Daylights, Aquamarine, Somewhere, The Fly 3. The list goes on. GRUSA, the clothing line. Hats, hoodies, t-shirts. It's a unification of the city I'm from, taking the city global. You know what I'm saying? We know New York, we know LA, we know Paris, we know Tokyo. We're going to do something for the city and make the city a global brand, global, really recognized brand. So you can check it out. That's shopgrusa.com. And man, keep checking for more music on the way. Go to Vimeo. The Fly short film is there. You can check it out there. You can rent it for $2. You can buy it for $8 and download it to your computer or your device. That's on Vimeo. It's called The Fly short film. All right.
What's the name of the label?
It's just Embassy Entertainment. Embassy Entertainment. But through all of that, GRUSA is a brand as well for the clothing line. And the same thing for the film company as well. Right?
BG.
Yeah.
Leave the people with something.
And well, for anybody that's out there that's asking for some real hip hop, you want some music that you can listen to, that's going to touch in your soul, y'all going to support our brother, Willie the Kid, for sure. All right, so for the Free Lunch Podcast, you can hit us up, freelunchpodcast.com for podcasts and blogs. Also, leave us your comments on Twitter, Free Lunch Pod C. Also, check us on Instagram, Free Lunch Podcast, and be sure to slide by YouTube, Free Lunch TV. Check out our videos. Check out this interview.
Yes, sir.
I really enjoyed this show, man. This is the Free Lunch Podcast. We are home to the New South movement. We out of here. Peace.
For sure.
Willie the Kid, nigga. I got the homie John Connor with me. We on that Midwest shit. Yeah, that Michigan shit. Yeah. Fly. Yeah. Smoke 'em like a zip, never sip Zinfandel. The infidels, a myth like a griffin is mythical. Caught up in my whirlwind, centrifugal, quite trifling. Trickle down to where the nickels go. Wishing well, jealousy is unbecoming, so just wish 'em well. Running like incumbents, kiss and tell, brag to the homies. This chick let me hump, not a yes man, a chump. Where they do that? Raised in the dojo, grazed in the field. A strict diet built my mojo. Straight from the guild, some killed, some died. I bear guilt, a survivor. Turn my sports car to a visor, no roof, advised by the OGs, confide in the Oma, counsel with the brothers at the Juma, a Jedi, the Fly, flip my collar up, crumble up $100 bills, got my sword and my shield, bravado, pop champagne, make a toast for tomorrow, no pain, no sorrow, we giving you the best of this Midwest shit, one time for mission.
It's supposed to be done, nigga.
Yeah,
you hear me? We do it all for the bright lights, the nightlife. Friday to Friday, we so fly, we top flight. Catch nosebleeds trying to be at my height. Talk is cheap, but for mine they paying top price. The flow is timeless, honest, I ain't aging. Immortal flow out of this world like I hopped out a portal. You watch your rabbit ass mind trying to beat the tortoise. You are watching the stars as it goes into orbit. It's sounding like a classic soon as I record it. I just murder these tracks and I don't know remorses. Name is not on my agenda, just turn up these corpses. Flow is picture perfect, here's another portrait. Put on the show in every line, just enjoy the performance. You want a piece of my mind, well here's another portion. Me and Willie the Kid to take the torch and torch it. It's Michigan love and we gon' hold down the fortress. It's all love, nigga.
For the ladies in the bleachers, for the spotlight, we so high you can't reach us. And one time for the place where I'm from. Everything I am, everything I will become. So I love one time for the ladies in the bleachers, for the spotlight, we so high you can't reach us. And one time for the place where I'm from. Everything I am, everything I will become. It's all love.
One time.
Yeah.
One time.
One time for Michigan.
One time. Yeah. The fly.
You the best of this Midwest shit. Willie the Kid,
One
man.
time.
John Connor.
One time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds so
Fly.
good, don't you agree?
The fly.